Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Horse Center. Good news, we're back with a wonderful guest. Bad news is it's Wednesday, so it's the last night this week. But I am Wild Jamie, and with me is my wonderful co-host, Swiss Army Sean. And our special guest tonight is someone we are very excited to talk to. Brand new, really riding races, and just got up to Woodbine. Such an exciting meet this summer. That is Apprentice Jockey Rachel Slevinsky. Did I say your last name correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay, perfect. I forgot to ask you before we went live. Sorry, everyone. I was having technical issues with my internet, so I'm a little bit flustered, but we're here and we are ready to chat with Miss Rachel. So, Rachel, you're from Canada and you grew up out west in Canada. Tell us a little bit about growing up. Have you always been in the racing industry, or is it something you came to a little bit later?
I started on the racetrack when I was 15, but I've been a part of horses for as long as I can remember. I've always been like the little horse-obsessed girl growing up. I got my first horse when I was 12, and I still have him now, but I started the racetrack a little bit later on in life, just kind of as like a summer job, I guess you could say. I started out that way, but I definitely am very, very happy I stayed.
Very cool. So you don't come from a racing family. How did you get that exposure?
My dad actually, he was working at Alberta Plywood with another trainer, Jerry Robertson, and he's like, hey, my daughter, she loves horses. She loves everything to do with horses. Like, if you need a hand, she'd be happy to come and help you and give her a summer job, give her something to do. So she's like, oh, yeah, sure. So I started grooming for her when I was 15 or 16. And I worked for her for a few years until I took the old college program, their jockey school over there. And then after that, I've just been on horseback ever since.
Oh, that is so exciting. So please tell us a little bit about the jockey school there. We love jockey schools here. We've had a few guests on who have attended them and also some instructors. So tell us more.
It's a 6-week program at the college and then 6 weeks at the racetrack itself. And honestly, it is a great way to get your foot in the door, especially when it comes to new people to the industry and stuff like that. They have a groom side and a gallop side of it. So you can take the college, it'll teach you the basics, it'll teach you horse anatomy, it'll teach you all that kind of stuff. And then there's also a 60-ride practicum. So once you finish the school itself, they put you in a barn right away. So you're already working, which is the best part about the whole program, is that you're already making money. It doesn't matter if you did really well or if you still needed help a little bit. Like, they put you in there right away. So you start working and you start getting to know the people on the backside and how things really work in different barns and stuff like that. So that's really the best part about it all. But it's given me a lot of good opportunities. I mean, it's definitely gotten my name out there, and I really appreciate everybody all the opportunities they gave me. So yeah.
That is wonderful. I love that they have that practical part at the end. My goodness, if only they did that with all education, this would be a much better world, right?
Definitely made the transition a lot easier because I didn't have to go find a job. It was kind of already given to me. So that was the best part.
So when did you make that decision that you wanted to be a jockey? Like, how soon did that come to you after being around the racehorses?
It's kind of funny. I started out actually wanting to be an outrider for chuck wagons.
Oh, so wow. Okay.
Yeah,
so you're very brave.
My uncles, they did a lot of chuck wagon racing, and like my family's been a lot of rodeo growing up. So I actually watched chuck wagon races, and I was like, Dad, like, there's no female outriders. Like, I want to be a female outrider. I want to be that guy, you know?
Yeah.
And so then that's how I started, kind of for the love of racing. And then once I got into the actual racetrack itself, a lot of people, they saw how determined I was on the ground, and they're like, you're small, you're tough, like, you should get on a horseback. So then eventually there was one trainer, Corey Rumsey, he dragged one of the instructors, Teresa, over to me, and he's like, get this girl in the school, she needs to get on a horseback, she's tough as nails, like, she deserves this. So I'm very, very grateful for him to give me that push, because I never would have done it on my own. But,
that's awesome. Yeah, to be a Chuck Wagon Outrider. If you don't know anything about this, do yourself a favor and Google it right after this show, because that's
not
intense.
An easy gig.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. All
tough.
right. Well, there you go. And we got a comment here from Mary Jo Mancheski. Super cool. I could not agree more. Absolutely. Okay. So fast forward a little bit. You started off actually last year at Century Mile, and then you kind of took a step back this winter in Tampa. I find that so interesting. We've actually had on several apprentices now who started their career, took a step back, and took more opportunity to learn, and then started again. We had Loriana Sosa last night. We had Sophia Vivas a couple months ago. You're doing that same thing. I mean, what benefit do you think that provides to you to kind of do a little bit of a pause before you win the 5 races and really take off in your apprentice year?
It kind of, I don't really know how to explain it. It kind of just like, it helps you get a feel for things. Like, cause nothing is going to get you more prepared to ride a race than riding a race itself. I mean,
Sure.
You could do everything you possibly can, but the main thing is like cause there's a lot of different aspects that come into riding a race, not just getting on an equisizer every day or finding the perfect horse. Like you got to figure out where to put yourself. You're not only just riding by yourself, but you're riding with other riders. So you can't really predict what's going to happen. You have to feel it out in the moment. So nothing really gets you prepared for that other than doing it like as it is. So it definitely, putting yourself out there and riding the few races and kind of getting a feel for how things are supposed to be is a really good way of figuring out where your weaknesses are and what you need to work on to be able to become that rider that you want to be. And so then you can step back and kind of soak it all in and work on it, and then you can come back stronger and really show people that you can do it. So yeah.
Well, that's really smart, Sean. Now we know why everyone keeps doing that. That makes a lot of sense. You dip your toe in, see what it's about, and then practice even more to perfect your craft. I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a great comment here from Emma Harris. Very smart ride on Northern Passage. Tell us about that mount.
Yes, that horse, she gave me everything she could. That horse it was a good ride. We ended up getting second. We were 46-1.
Wow.
And I really owe it all to the owners, Carrie and David. They gave me step by step, and she told me what she wanted me to do. So I followed instructions, and I took the shot when they were trying to move up on me, kind of coming to the 3/8 pole, because I could see the boys trying to get in there, and they're trying to push me out and get me to go wider. So I knew that was the time when I really had to get her moving, and she took off for me. It was a great ride. It was a great feeling for her.
Awesome.
Were you aware of your big odds?
I was, but I definitely was not afraid of them at all. Like we were talking to Carrie before that, and I knew what the horse was made out of, and I knew what she wanted to do, and she was ready for it from the very beginning. I mean, down on paper, like she jumped up in class that race because she rode opening weekend, but she did jump up in class for the couple weeks later. But if you look at her paper and her form and everything like that, she was running for like that kind of money last year, and she ran well. She was off a win, so it wasn't a big surprise for me to have her up there. We broke really sharp. I remember they told me, "Oh, one horse back," and next thing you know, I'm out of the gate and nobody else is with me. So she took care of me. She knew what she wanted, and that 7/8 of a mile, that's her perfect distance. She loves it. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, hold on real quick, Sean. Let me just get in a couple quick comments, then you take over. Grandma Horse Racing, Philly on Philly, once again. Yes, you were saying she has this theory that a girl riding a filly is a solid angle. So I agree. We've been noticing it more and more here. And I got another great comment here from Brandon Farley. She breaks them sharp and rides them smart. I mean, you got tons of compliments coming in here, girl.
Thank you.
So let's go back to your first ever ride. You said it's not actually real until you're in those gates. So that first time you're in the gate, I believe your first ride was what, Century Mile, right?
Yes, it was.
Talk about that in your mind frame and everything you're thinking when you're in the gate and they let go.
That race it meant a lot to me. That race, it wasn't only just my first start, but that the owner and trainer of that horse, I've been riding that horse since she was 2. So the fact that I got to ride her for my first start as a 4-year-old, it was incredible. Like it's a different feeling getting a horse started, and then it's also a different feeling getting them started in a race. And being an exercise rider beforehand, like it was nice to see my horses get to the races, but to be the one on the horseback is a lot different. And the trainer, Anderson Ward, he's definitely been a big part of my life and trying to get me to be a jockey. He believed in me from day one, and he pushed me the hardest. He was the definition of tough love, but he was like, Rachel, you're gonna ride this horse. This is how it's gonna go. And she was a little finicky in the gate prior to this race, so she definitely did get a little schooling and everything like that. But when she took me in there, she was like, she took care of me, and she loaded perfectly fine. Everything was good. It was a lot. She did get a little bit antsy, and we ended up not having the best break, but we definitely tried to recover, and she took care of me out there. So, yeah.
How are your nerves in the gate before that race?
I wouldn't say I was nervous. I was really excited. I was very, very excited. It was a different feeling because I've done all of it. I've been an exercise rider. I've been a pony girl. So being on the other side of things, I was very, very excited.
Jockeys are built different, Sean.
Yeah. And then talk about your first win.
My first win, oh, that was something else. That was crazy. Yeah, that was it was also another filly. I ride a lot of fillies. I get a lot of mares. But yeah, so I rode her for a trainer named Rod Cohn out west, and Rod helped me out a ton as well. I rode a lot of races for him over there. But this horse, we got the one hole, and I remember we broke sharp as well. We were probably one of the first ones out of the gate at that time too. It was a shorter race. I think there's only 5/8. And I broke out of there, and I remember the guys there, like Century Mile, they're the best. Those jockeys, they definitely look out for us out there, especially as new bug riders and things like that. And I remember Alex, he's like, you got this. And he's sitting there up there next to me, like we're battling for the lead. And he's like, you got this. Like, I know you got this. And the moment we turned for home, I just let her go, and she took off. It was a pretty good feeling. She won that one wire to wire. So yeah.
What about your treatment afterwards?
Oh, it was great. It was great. It was a very warm day, so I did appreciate the ice bucket bath. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't upset by it, that's for sure.
Nice.
And what about I think it's your agent that keeps saying about breaking smart and fast. That seems to be, is that one of the first things you learn as an apprentice, is get them out of the gate quick?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little tough. Like the first few breaks that I had, it was kind of hard kind of getting the hang of it, I guess. Like my breaks in the first few races weren't always that sharp. And a lot of people were saying, like, come on, you got to get better. The moment you get out of the gate, like, that's how you get your position. That's where you start. Like, that is, you can't be sitting in there while everyone else is gone. You know what I mean? So I definitely worked on that a lot. And I took a lot of horses to the gates, and I practiced a ton. And now I'm always the first one out of there. So practice makes perfect for sure.
Nice.
So do you like the sprint races versus the route races so far, or?
Honestly, I couldn't pick. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I love them both. I don't mind sitting behind horses and getting dirt in the face, because the moment they come down and run for the lane, like down the lane, it's a good feeling. So honestly, as long as I'm on a horse, it doesn't matter to me.
That's that jockey saying right there.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a great comment here from Grandma Horse Racing. How do these young riders stay so grounded? She has a solid outlook on her career and future. When I was that age, I wasn't that focused. Amen. Okay. Like, I'm not even close over here. So that's great, though, that you've already, got that path in front of you and feel so dedicated.
Definitely.
I got another great question here, too, from Jeffrey Doyle. Why did you choose Woodbine? You're originally from a totally different location. What made you want to go that route?
Woodbine is the place to be. They've got now it's the King's Plate, the big races. The facility here is amazing. So, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. I love my small town, and I love Alberta, and I love Century Mile, but it was just, I like to dream big. So I decided to come out here.
Awesome. So how is it going there so far in Woodbine?
Good. It's very good. I love it. It was a little cold at first when I got here, but so far it's been great. The people have been great. The horses are lovely. They're just a very nice class of horses. I've never had anything bad or anything like that. Like, it's been I feel very spoiled.
Now, when you get to your 5 wins, which should be right around the corner, and you start your whole bug year, do you have any thoughts of doing anything like Sophia and being crazy and going from Woodbine to Parks or anything like that?
No, I do think I'll probably try Fort Erie and stuff like that. Maybe, I haven't really had any other plans. I definitely just want to kind of focus on Woodbine for right now. If the opportunity does come up, I'm not gonna say no. I do like to try to widen my horizon. So we'll see what happens.
How far is Fort Erie from Woodbine?
I believe it's only like 45 minutes, I think.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not that far.
Oh, we got another great question from one of our longtime contributors here, John DeSilva. Love him. How much of a help have women like Emma Jane, Sophia, Isabel, etc. been to you? Yeah, there's a lot of good lady riders up there in Woodbine.
There's a lot. We definitely have a good room going.
Yeah.
It is very fun. It is very supportive. It's a very good vibe when you come in there and everyone's just kind of having fun and joking around. So it's very nice. It's very good. Very welcoming.
Awesome. Love that. So what are your goals for this summer?
I'm not quite sure yet. Honestly, I just want to learn more and do better and try to get on as many horses as I can, win as many races as I can, and just become a better rider overall.
Yeah, this is really exciting for us. I think, Sean, this is only the second apprentice that we've had on who has not won their 5th race and actually started the year, right? Normally we have people on like right after they win their 5th race.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is exciting. Like everything's still brand new,
Definitely, yeah.
Wonderful. So what is your typical day like right now?
Right now I usually I get up pretty early and I'm at the track fairly early. I've got a couple horses that I like to gallop and work and stuff like that. I like to walk around, say hello to everybody, and it's nothing too exciting.
We have to clarify what you're fairly early, because fairly early is different to a whole bunch of different people.
That's true. Well, I get up at like 4:30.
Oh, that's more fairly early.
Yeah. I'm up at 4:30, and I'm probably at the track by like 5:30ish, 5. And my day starts around 6 usually. I get on probably about 6 or 7 horses a day. And then the rest of my time, I like to walk around and say hello to people and see how everybody's doing, if anyone else needs help or need a hand with anything. So, yeah.
Very
Do you like the day racing?
I do like the day racing. I've used to night racing, especially when I was grooming and stuff like that. But I do like the day racing. It makes it a little bit. You don't have to wait so long because I get excited and I'm impatient. But
Oh, we've got a comment here. We all knew it was coming from Terry. Hey, Rachel, come to Northern California and ride at Golden Gate Field. So there's an option for you if you want to go back out west, but a little south.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Different west.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here we got another great question. John DeSilva, how much of an adjustment was it from riding at Century Mile Dirt to Woodbine to PETA?
Honestly, I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be completely different. I was definitely expecting it, like the horses to travel differently and everything like that and to feel differently, but it's not. It is different. It does feel different. The horses, they travel a lot faster. They travel a lot better. You definitely don't get as much mud in your face, that's for sure. But I love it. I do love it. I think it feels great. Like I love riding on it. The footing is just a lot better for the horses and everything like that. So yeah.
Do you think that's why? Because Woodbine, they have the 20-cent pick 3s, 20-cent pick 4s. It always seems like long shots are winning. You just said you finished second 140. Do you think it's the surface, or what do you think it is that the long shots compete a lot better at a track like Woodbine than others?
I mean, it could be. It definitely could be. The track, yeah, I would say so. The track is definitely it's a lot easier on them. So some of those horses that you'd think that wouldn't make it, they pick a good path and they kind of roll with it. With the dirt, it was a little bit tougher just because depending on the weather, it definitely would make a big difference on the track and on the horses. But with the PETA, it's all weather, so it doesn't really. I mean, it does when it gets like rainy. It kind of makes it a little bit deeper in some areas, but it's not nearly as bad as it would be if it was dirt, So.
What about, we always hear with that kind of surface too, it's very hard to hear them coming. Did you have to get used to that?
That I actually kind of like it a little bit more. I do like the sound of horse hooves, but I kind of like it a little bit more because the horses relax a little bit. Some of them, especially those antsy little fillies, they hear horses coming and then they just want to take off. So it kind of helps me get them to relax a lot more and settle. And I always find that a happy horse will run a lot better for you. So I think it helps.
Absolutely. Have you gotten to experience the turf yet?
Not yet. Not yet, but I am very excited and I can't wait.
Yeah, we hear a lot of fun stuff about it. Sean and I haven't experienced it either, so.
Yeah. All I know is when you say dirt or turf, 95% of jockeys will all say turf. So
yeah,
I'm sure you'll love it.
I've heard it's very, very nice, so I'm excited.
I've heard someone say that it's like when you're playing Mario Kart and you hit the mushroom.
Yeah.
So you'll come back in with us. We'll have you back on the show and let us know if you agree.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
And we've got a great question here from Mary Jo Manchesky. What is the biggest challenge for female jockeys, and what advice do you have to other aspiring female jockeys?
I would say just the fact that a lot of people look at you as a girl. It's a boys' club kind of game. So being a girl, a lot of guys think, oh, she's just a little girl, especially being a 10-pound bug. Like, I'm a lot lighter than the other jockeys out there. So it's definitely a lot of like, oh, I don't know if she can do it kind of thing. You got to prove that you're tough. And that is probably my biggest advice to everybody is don't let those boys push you around. You got to give it all you got for sure.
I love it, especially being super feminine. I mean, obviously anyone who's watching the show can see that you're absolutely gorgeous, but it does tend to make people underestimate you in a field where you have to also be physically strong. People are like, oh, that's just a beautiful girl, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little deceiving, but I mean, I'm kind of rolling with it right now because they don't know quite yet, but they'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, then there's that dynamic too. You guys do have a lot of women and females in the jocks room at Woodbine. So it's the same thing we talk about all the time too. You kind of got to be friendly, but then that's your competitor too. So you want to be supportive of those women, but you also want to beat those women. So how do you balance that too?
It's not as hard as you think because we're all very friendly. Like everybody's very happy to be there, and it's not really like it's not a bad competitiveness. Like it's a fun, kind of you're hanging with your friends, you're riding, you're riding races like that. Like it's a good competitive. It helps us all kind of get better and want to do better. So that's really it's a good dynamic.
How much talking's going on out there while you guys are beating each other up, or that fun competitiveness?
Not that much. It's not like that.
I think that's only among like the McCarthy family, and Davis family.
Yeah.
Because they say they all fight amongst each other out there all the time. Like, I got you. It's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so how do you compare being a jockey to being an exercise rider? Like, what are the big differences there?
I would say for the most part, I guess it's a lot more working. Like you breeze a lot more horses than most things. It's a lot more politics than just being a gallop person. You can go in there and just kind of get on the horse and whatever else. But now it's a lot more trying to find the right horse, not just any horse, but find the right horse that suits you and suits the race and everything like that. So yeah, I'd say that'd be the biggest difference.
We've got one more great question. I'm sorry, Sean. I know I keep jumping in front of you, but these comments are awesome and they like keep flying in. I'm not even getting to all of them. Okay. So Mary Jo Manchesky says, if you could race in any race in the world and win, which would it be?
Well, I mean, everyone dreams to ride in the Derby, the Kentucky Derby. Everybody wants to ride in the Derby, but I also feel like it would be incredible to be able to ride in the Dubai World Cup. I think that would be very, very cool.
Oh, nice. I love that answer. Oh, we've got another great question here. And then, Sean, I'll let you take over again. Sorry. From the consultant, do you handicap the races that you're running in?
I do and I don't at the same time. I mean, my horse, that last race that I rode, she was 46 to 1, It kind of just, I definitely look at all the other horses in my race and kind of figure out where everyone's trying to be and stuff like that. I'm not just riding my race, I'm riding everybody else's, I got to figure out where I got to put myself and how much horse I've got left and stuff like that. So you definitely got to look into all those kind of things. But for the most part, you gotta trust your horse. You got to know what you have. That's for sure.
Do you have any favorite horses, just even as an exercise rider? Do you have any favorite horses that you've been around?
I do have a lot of favorite horses. I definitely want to take them all home. But, I can't. I have my fair share of favorites. I got a pretty long list, I'm not going to lie. But I definitely have a couple of them. Like my first race, that horse, Kubi T, she means a lot to me. She's pretty special to me as well. Northern Passage, that one that I ran, she took care of me out there. There's something about her on post parade, I could just feel it. She knew what was going on, and she definitely took care of me. There's also a horse that I used to ride for Chip Woolley, and I love him, and I will always love him. But now he's a stud horse at a farm in Montana. But his name was Touchdown Redskins, and I loved galloping that horse. He was my favorite horse ever.
What made that horse so special?
He was just a cool horse. He was big stud. I actually hated galloping him at first because he was so big and he would pull and he was so tough. But then once I figured him out, he was the nicest, biggest puppy dog you'd ever meet. And he was a stud, you wouldn't even know he was a stud at that point. But by looking at him, he was gorgeous. He was beautiful. So he definitely looked like a stud, but he never acted like it. And then he would go with all the babies and kind of show them how things are done. And it was just his personality. He had a very, very big personality.
What about the dynamics of Canada with horse racing? We always talk about getting younger people in the sport. How is horse racing doing over at Woodbine and stuff as far as the younger kids getting involved?
I think it's pretty good. There's definitely a lot of younger people here, especially starting off with new owners. They're owning part of horses or something like that, or they're trying to train a couple and things like that. I definitely see a lot of younger assistant trainers, which is really nice to see because then they're the next step into the horse racing world. So it is fairly full with a lot of younger people.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So who have you had that have been special mentors in your career so far?
I've had a lot. I have been very grateful to have a lot of great mentors and a lot of opportunities. I don't even know if I could just name one, but I definitely would say Corey Rumsey. He was the trainer that pushed me to take the college. He pushed me a lot to be able to take a tough horse, to take, those kind of things. He definitely got me started when it came to wanting to be a jockey. I ended up buying a jock saddle, and he would make me gallop in it. He would make me exercise. He'd make me breeze horses in it, kind of stuff like that.
Awesome.
So I definitely owe him a lot. But I also owe a lot to a lot of other trainers. I used to ride for Chip Woolley, and he believed a lot in me, and he made me breeze a lot of horses, and he gave me a lot of good opportunities and taught me a lot too. So, yeah.
Oh, that is so wonderful. So where is a dream track that you would love to ride at?
I would probably say Gulfstream. I went there to just kind of see how it was this past winter, and I love it. Or Keeneland. I would love to go to Keeneland. That track is absolutely amazing. And of course, Churchill, all those big tracks. But
sure,
I would probably say my favorite would be Keeneland, definitely.
It's so beautiful there. Nothing compares to Keeneland.
So gorgeous. Yeah.
Did you get to meet any jockeys when you were there?
No, I just kind of went there to check out the sale and everything else, but it was beautiful. It was gorgeous.
Very cool. So what is your favorite part of your job as a jockey?
I would say the horses and the people. That's for sure. Definitely I got into this industry because of the horses. And I stayed because of the racing and just the people. Some of them, it's just so nice to see how much people love the horses in the morning and how much they care for them and stuff like that. It's really nice to see.
So it's not waking up fairly early.
Yeah, fairly early, 4:30. Fairly early to me is 7.
Yeah.
It's like late for me now. I can't sleep in past like 8 o'clock.
So what is the hardest part of your job as a jockey?
I would say the hardest part is the patience. You gotta be patient. You can't rush things. You can't, put a lot on yourself. You definitely gotta step back and just kind of enjoy the moment. So that'd be the toughest.
Love that.
What about waking up fairly early? You do the horses, whatever. What other hobbies do you do besides that?
I do love going to the gym. I love going to the gym. I've always loved going to the gym. But I also love taking my dog out. I got a little dog, so she goes everywhere with me.
Aww.
And we go on a lot of walks, a lot of hikes, kind of stuff like that. I just love being outside. It's, love sitting out in the sun.
What kind of dog you got?
She's a blue heeler.
Different
She's pretty active. She's very lazy, but she is.
We got a comment here from Willie Martinez. I know there's a whole crew at Presque Isle watching this interview right now. So he says, I saw her once at the track kitchen one morning. She probably doesn't remember. LOL. Best of luck this summer, Rachel.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I would always show him pictures of you. I'd be like, oh my gosh, look at this beautiful girl that I took a picture of this morning. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him there, but I didn't see him that much. I think only a couple of times.
He was out with an injury, so he did not start getting on horses until like the very, very end of the meet. He only was out there maybe a few days, and then he also went to a Cal a few days, and now he's getting on like 10 horses a day at Presque Isle. So now he's really in shape. Yeah.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah. He was missing in action this winter, so hopefully next winter you guys will see a little bit more of each other.
Definitely, for sure.
Well, Sean, we're already at over half an hour. You got anything else?
I would just say, and I didn't get a chance to look at entry. Do you have any horses coming up that you're looking forward to or anything?
We're waiting for Sunday. I think we got a good one Sunday if the entries go. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed. But every race I've rode so far at Woodbine, I've gotten closer and closer to the winner's circle. So I definitely keep my eye out.
There you go.
Absolutely. And we will for sure celebrate that with you. Cannot wait. I cannot wait until you hit the 5 and everything all starts. We got another comment here before we let you go. Willie Martinez says, Antonio says hi and good luck. Antonio Gallardo. I know they're all sitting there watching this together. So
hi guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Miss you all. I'll definitely see you guys this winter.
Yes, we can't wait to have you back down here. It was so nice briefly getting to know you a little bit, but I'm sure that as time goes on, we'll see more and more of each other because we can't stay away from the track.
Of course.
And you got anything else, Sean?
No, that's it. Nice to meet Rachel, and we'll definitely be watching for that first win too. Matter of fact, I will make it a mission to break the news that you won your first race.
Oh, there we go. He's on the case. He's quick, so he will break it. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. We cannot wait to cheer you on at Woodbine. This is so exciting, and congratulations on getting started up there, and can't wait to see you hit that next win.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
You too.
All right. Ha. Got you again, Sean.
Don't scare everybody away.
Yeah, she is incredibly well spoken. Like that was such a good interview. Like from someone that we haven't heard that much from. Like she's really just starting her bug career. So these are exactly the kind of people that we love to have on, right? Like the people that people don't really know about yet that are going to be a big deal as time goes on.
Well, the people that are going to go, hey, she just won 3 races this week. She's really good. Who is this girl? And they're going to Google her name, and then they're going to see this interview. And
there we go. She's
going to see how well spoken and everything. Yeah. Well, not even that. I mean, the last 2. I mean, Sosa last night and Rachel today. Like, how can you not listen to them and go, you know what? I do want them on my horses. They got the talent. They got the head. They're grounded and, all that,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my perspective as a former trainer, I always wanted the smart jockey, like talent is great, but it can only get you so far. I want the person who is like thinking on their feet, making decisions on the fly and doing the best that they can every time. And Rachel certainly fits that bill. So very excited to see her career continue.
Yes.
Oh, and we've got so many comments coming in here. Mary Jo Mancheski, I'll be paying attention to handicapping Woodbine this summer. Best of luck. And we've got, oh, hold on. My internet is crazy, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on tonight. Terry Hayes says she is wonderful. Couldn't agree more. This was like wonderful. Oh, Chris Kemper said, dang, I just missed my girl. Well, Chris, you'll just have to rewatch the show.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Well, you know what's good? You know what's cool about handicapping Woodbine? Like I said, they have 20-cent pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5s.
Right.
And they actually do usually pay because the favorite's not winning every race at Woodbine. They have full fields, They have long shots. So it's nice because you can put a little $9 ticketing, have a lot of coverage, and hit a good one and just only invest a little bit. So Woodbine's cool to play like that.
Yeah, and I do love seeing all the ladies there at Woodbine. Very exciting for me as a woman because when I was growing up in the industry, there were very, very, very few women. So cool to see so much representation up there, and not just there, but kicking ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what else have we got going on, Sean?
The guys will be back tomorrow. Again, I'm not sure which track. Terry can help me out here. I'm not sure what track. I'm thinking it's Charles and Rich, but I'm not sure what track on Thursday, but they will be on tomorrow, and then we're off. This is, it's Wednesday, like you said. Unfortunately, we're done for the week. Monday, Julie and I will be back with recently inducted Hall of Famer Corey Nakatani. Awesome. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm working on some guests. I might have narrowed down Tuesday and might have one, but I don't want to announce it yet till I'm sure of that. But pay attention to us. Like us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I announce it there, and pay attention to that stuff. And you guys done great today. I put out about subscribing. There was a bunch of subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps us a lot. Thumbs up too. It really is just a simple button. If we have 180 viewers, it'd be great to have 180 thumbs up. We're not going to get that, but if you could do your part, it's greatly appreciated. It doesn't cost you anything to do. So we greatly appreciate it.
Amen, Sean. It doesn't cost you anything to show us a little bit of love, and it helps us more than you can imagine.
Yeah, and if you're watching anyway, you just hit the thumbs up button. I mean, it's real easy, so appreciate that.
And I just got to touch on a few more comments before we close out here because these are great. Grandma Horse Racing, she's got the brains, smarts, and courage. Love her. And we've got, this is hilarious. Oh, hey, it's Adam Rice, I'm assuming. And who do I got to smack around to get on here and disagree about everything? Well, Adam, I have invited you on the show before, and I will continue to invite you because you are definitely in my top 10 list of people that I want on this show. He is very opinionated and entertaining, incredibly, incredibly sharp horseman. Just, I can't even say enough good things about his brains, but he is also very disagreeable. So that should be interesting.
Hey, I like to have debate shows. Let's do it.
Yeah. And we've got a comment here that says, Shanna, that's Shanna Lucarelli. She's amazing. Love this show. Great job. I would love to get Shanna on here too. She's been an exercise rider, assistant trainer forever. And you want to talk about someone at the top of their game who knows it all. She would be a great guest. She's shy, but we're going to do it, Sean, one of these days.
Hey, I was shy at 1.2, and here I am. So anybody
there
can do
you go. There you go. Okay, well, we actually have more and more comments coming in, but we got to stop it at some point. So that takes us wire to wire tonight on Horse Center. We hope that you enjoyed the show. You got to meet a new face tonight who's got a very bright future ahead of her. So please like, subscribe, follow, share. We are Horse Race, the number 2 day on pretty much every social media platform, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Am I missing one? Facebook. Yes.
Yep,
so show us the social media love because that gives us the opportunity to bring you more and more great guests like the ones that we've had all this week and the ones coming on next week. And we really do appreciate you. All right. Well, everyone, we know that we will see you back again next week for some very exciting guests, including Corey Nakatani, long time in coming to the Hall of Fame. So that should be a great show. But we know we will also see you in the
Winner's Circle.
Good night, everyone.